Hello guys, this is lesson 5 of teaching you how to script on Roblox Studio. In lesson 4, we briefly talked about if statements and how they let your script make decisions based on conditions. A condition can be anything, a number, a comparison, or a Boolean. If the condition is true, the code inside the if statement will run. If the condition is false, the script will skip it. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to write an if statement and how to use it properly in your scripts. To write an if statement, you need to follow a specific format so the computer understands what to do. First, you start by writing the word if. Then you write the condition you want to check. After the condition, you type the word then. This tells the computer, if this condition is true, then do the next part. Next, you write what you want the script to do if the condition is met. After that, you finish the if statement by writing the word end. This tells the computer that the if statement is done. Also, when you're comparing values in an if statement, you have to use two equal signs. This is because one equal sign is used to set or assign a value to a variable, while two equal signs are used to check if one value is equal to another. So remember, use then after your condition to say, do this if the condition is true, use end to tell the computer where the if statement finishes, and use two equal signs to compare values, not one. Once you get used to this pattern, writing if statements will become easy. In my last lesson, I used the words else, if, and else. I use them because sometimes when you write an if statement, you may want to check more than one thing. The if is your first check. If that condition is not true, the script moves to the else if, which is your second check. If that one is also not true, then the else runs. The else is like a backup plan. It runs when none of the conditions above it are true. The else if and else help your script choose between different actions depending on what's happening in your game. You don't have to have only one else if. You can have as many as you need. You also don't need to use else if or else at all if they're not necessary. Some things that you can use in your if statements are logical operators like the words and, not, and or. These logical operators help your script make decisions when checking multiple conditions in one if statement. Let's start with the word and. When you use and in your if statement, you're telling your computer to check if both conditions are true at the same time before it runs the code inside. If even one condition is false, the computer will skip that code. Moving on to or. When you use or, you tell your computer that if either one of the conditions is true, then run the code. So, the code will run if at least one condition is true. Finally, you can use the word not to tell your computer to reverse the condition. If the condition is true, not makes it false, and if it's false, not makes it true. This helps you check for situations where something is not happening or is not true. Together, these logical operators let you create more complex if statements in your scripts. When you write scripts, you use comparison operators to compare two things and decide what to do next. Here are some common ones. Greater than means one number is bigger than another, like 5 is greater than 3. Less than means one number is smaller than another, like 2 is less than 4. Equal to means two things are exactly the same, like 7 is equal to 7. Greater than or equal to means a number is either bigger than or exactly the same as another, like 5 is greater than or equal to 5. Less than or equal to means a number is either smaller than or exactly the same as another, like 3 is less than or equal to 3. And not equal to means two things are different, like 4 is not equal to 6. You use these in your if statements to check different conditions and decide what should happen in your game. This is pretty much it for this lesson. I want you guys to practice everything